Hi everyone, welcome back. Me again. And today's quote, it comes from a favorite of mine, the one and only Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you haven't heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, you're missing out on a lot of amazing information that relates to mind and heart, coherence, and being able to become supernatural. Amazing. Got a few books out there that I've read. One is Becoming Supernatural. The other one is You Are the Placebo. Joe Dispenza has made a huge impact on my consciousness as relates to the science around meditation and gratitude. Amazing stuff. So today I was looking for a quote that was kind of about that, essentially, like becoming independent of external forces and being able to be the master of your own fate, the captain of your own destiny, an individual who can heal yourself with your mind, an individual who can manifest miracles. And if you're at the point where you're like, this is too woo-woo for me, I get it. But there's a science behind this stuff. And Dr. Joe Dispenza is amazing at breaking down the science. So the quote that kind of stuck out to me today as I was seeking for a quote that related to this mind coherence, is brain coherence, heart coherence, body coherence, this idea of being an optimal human being and what it takes to be doing that with all your faculties. This quote stands out for me. I'll read it. Just as thoughts are the language of the brain, feelings are the language of the body. And how you think and how you feel create a sense of being. Yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong. Have you ever thought about really put a lot of energy into something that you really needed to happen, that absolutely had to happen? And you did all the prayers, if you pray, you did all the lighting of the incense, you put all of that really positive energy and you kept out the negative energy. You really just focused on the positive. And then at the end of the day, it turned out that you got what you wanted. You can probably say, oh, well, I've never measured that. Perhaps that was just a coincidence. Every time I did that, I didn't have a notepad. I didn't have telemeters on my head. I wasn't checking out whether my brain and my heart were connecting and were in a state of coherence. So I don't know if I actually did that or not, but I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it worked out for me. Awesome. And Dr. Joe Dispenza, in his work like his that is done by others, really focuses on that mind-body connectivity. I think the idea of the quantum being. We are more than this body. We are more than this form. We inhabit this vessel. We experience this existence in the spacesuit that's called this skin, flesh and bones, all of that. But inside of us is something really different, something that is intangible, or at least intangible in the sense that we understand tangibility, right? So perhaps there is a tangibility to it that is something we can't measure in this finite way of thinking that we as human beings seem to be. And as amazing as we are by comparison, perhaps the other species on this planet, with the things that we were able to do, for example, like flying rockets to the moon. No other species can do that, right? And yet there's so much that we don't really know about our own selves and our own body. And I would say that, there are definitely scriptures and spiritual texts and books that do say with some specificity what this stuff is, what it's really about, why in India they look at it this way, why in Africa they look at it another way, why in China they look at it another way, and maybe they're all looking at it similarly, but there are differences. And then we come to the West, and the West barely looks at this stuff and shoos it away as woo-woo. So my argument is that our thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body, and one might say the heart in that respect. And so if we're connecting this mind and this heart, this brain and this heart coherence, and we're really getting into that state of consciousness where we're able to really tap into that which is the source of who and what we are, then we're creating a sense of being. And I argue that the Buddha probably went through something like this. Jesus, if he existed on this planet, I'm sure did exactly the same thing. Others types of prophets and seers and sages throughout all cultures and all manifestations on this planet, I'm sure went through a process where they were considering what they were thinking and what they were feeling and manifesting energy in a particular way and creating miracles, if you will, manifesting magic. Yeah, that's the quote for today. Dr. Joe Dispenza. I encourage you to check out his work and see what he's up to. See if you can apply anything that he is teaching into your life as it relates to manifesting and achieving the things that you want to achieve. And I will say, coming from a spiritual inclination around this stuff early in my life, honestly, it wasn't really until I read the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza that helped me to crystallize, so the spiritual mumbo jumbo that I was believing in, I understand the technology of it now because there's science behind it. I got it. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope this works for you. Leave a comment in the chat if you have any thoughts about this quote or any thoughts about Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I will see you again tomorrow.